Thank you for joining us for another episode of Exposing Scientology, where we reveal what really goes on inside this business masquerading as a church. Hi, everyone. Here we are.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
I love your new intro, Mike.
Thank you,
Very
Mark.
nice.
And that is, actually, that's not the final version. Kelly Copter helped with that. And, oh, yes, Kelly Copter.
Yes.
And there's a slightly revised edition coming, but I wanted to use that one now. Trying to get some standardization. Christy pushing like crazy to become more professional on the YouTubes. And that is a part of it. And that also now we use as the intro to the podcast episodes that we are converting these YouTube videos into podcasts, because so many people ask, as you guys have already been doing, because you know that is a popular format for people who don't, I guess that they don't want to just listen to YouTube without looking at it.
Yeah,
Well-
well, a lot of people listen to podcasts on their way to work, or
Yeah.
while they're gardening, or while they're working out, or going for a walk. I mean, I do it all the time. I listen to podcasts all the time in place of radio anymore, really. So
Yeah.
it's helpful in that format.
I know, but why is that such a good format? Why can't they just do it on YouTube?
Because they listen a lot. 54% of the people who download the Blown for Good podcast, they listen on a phone and they listen on the Apple Podcast app. So
okay,
they're
on the Apple Podcast app. It's familiar. It's something that they use all the time. So
Yeah.
it's easy to just click on.
Yeah,
And
and there's another factor too, which is that if you don't have a paid subscription on YouTube, you have to have your phone on all the time, which is not like if you whereas podcast, you can just, it can be in sleep mode or whatever you call it, like not activated.
It just downloads. If you are a follower or a subscriber to that podcast, it just downloads every episode we do, and so when you go to your phone, it's just sitting there waiting for you.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty then. Now, thank you for explaining that.
Of course.
I'm sure everybody that's watching this understands it, and I'm the only dinosaur here that doesn't get it. But
No.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Well, we already got
We're-
1,000 people in here.
Yeah,
in
learning
this
we're
live
learning
right
the
now.
interwebs, us born in a cult folk.
Right. I think we're doing pretty good, Mike, considering.
Yeah.
all right, honey. Well, all credit to Christy.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Like the football players say when they're being interviewed after they just won the game. All credit to God.
Yeah, there you go. Hail
The other
Christy.
team, not so much,
Oh.
but
Okay.
I do the all credit to Christy. Oh, actually, I should be going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I know it gets so confusing. Yeah, it's
Okay, well,
counterintuitive.
we're going to talk about a subject that is unfortunately very real to all of us, which is disconnection.
Yep.
And we're going to do a little bit of an historical background, and then talk about why this has come up as a subject to discuss today. As you probably are aware, for many, many, many years, Scientology, this has been a real thorn in the side of Scientology. People have said, you know, you break up families, you have this policy of forcing people to be disconnected from their families or their friends, and they lose their jobs. And, you know, it's been one of the things that Scientology has had the most difficulty dealing with. And for many, many, many years, the solution to that problem was to simply claim it was not true. I mean, they literally are quoted all over the media saying there is no such thing as disconnection. It does not exist. Every now and then they'll throw in the sort of like, as you characterize it. But they basically have said disconnection is a fallacy. It is one of those inventions of the bitter defrocked apostates on the fringes of the internet who make up terrible stories about how bad Scientology is and how everything is rotten, but it's actually not that case at all. We're the nicest people in the world. We're so pro-family. We help people reconnect with their families. Oh, and it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, they double down when they say that's not a such thing, and they even say, in Scientology, we value the family, and we encourage our members to be very connected to their family members and respect the religious beliefs. They try to make it like, oh, they believe, if your family members are not Scientologists and they believe in another religion. And we're like, yeah, we're not talking about any of that.
Yeah. Well,
Nope.
and there is a very famous clip, which Mark kindly brought to the table today, of Tommy Davis on CNN responding to questions about this. And I just wanted to start with that because it's like the perfect framework of putting all this into context.
Yes.
Here we go.
You want me to put it up?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
Something
okay,
about
yes.
the church, and this is what this group Anonymous is protesting. They claim that the church separates family members, and there is this practice of disconnection, where if you're a member of the Church of Scientology, to the best of my understanding here on this issue, because I'm not a member and I don't fully understand it, but if you're a member of the Church of Scientology and someone in your family or a friend or your spouse is skeptical or critical of the Church of Scientology, you are supposed to disconnect yourself from that person. And Jenna Miscavige Hill, who is a niece of the church's leader, David Miscavige, says that happened to her, which is the reason she left the church a couple of years ago, and she now has a website bringing together former members of the Church of Scientology to talk about issues like this.
Well, first of all, this is a perfect example of how the internet turns things and twists things. There's no such thing as disconnection as you're characterizing it, and certainly you have to understand.
Well, what is disconnection?
Scientology's a new religion. You have the majority of Scientologists in the world, they're first generation, so their family members aren't going to be Scientologists and this kind of thing. And Scientology absolutely mandates, and it's really part of the code of being a Scientologist to respect the religious beliefs of others. So certainly someone who's a Scientologist is going to respect their family members' beliefs.
And what is
and we consider family to be a building block of any society. So anything that's characterized as disconnection or this kind of thing, it's just not true. There isn't any such policy that in the church that's dictating who people should or should not be in communication with. You know, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that
Doesn't happen.
every Scientologist that watched that yelled at the screen and said, "Bullshit, Tommy. I haven't talked to my sister in 27 years because of that policy."
On the positive side, that one clip from Tommy Davis alone is probably responsible for what, like the exit of about thousands of Scientologists, no question asked.
It planted
Like,
another seed.
Yes.
It just
How
planted
can you
one more seed.
blatantly lie like
Oh,
that.
they
Straight up
lie.
lie.
Okay, they lie to the media.
well, and you know, one of those people that left following that was Paul Haggis.
Yep.
Right.
This was one of the big motivations, that and the gay marriage bill in California. I mean, when Paul saw that, he was like, this is outrageous. My wife was forced to disconnect from her parents. You know that, Tommy. And he told
Right.
Tommy directly, like, you know that this is exactly what happened. You're totally familiar with this is what happened. And you go on international TV and lie about it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
anyway. So
And
Why-
that wasn't that in 2009, approximately 2010.
I think it was 2009.
I think it was 2010, but yeah, either 9 or 10.
Let's
Yeah.
not forget, Tommy Davis himself blew the Sea Org after that and is no longer in Scientology. He will still, he'll say no comment if you ask him about anything. He won't throw them under the bus, but he certainly isn't at the org doing courses or counseling these days.
Right.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So all of us here have experienced this personally. All of the four of us, our family members have all disconnected from us on the basis of being ordered to do so by Scientology.
Without being able to have a conversation with us personally.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
he also said that the majority of Scientologists are first generation Scientologists, which we all shook our head at because all of us here are basically second generation.
We are.
We are.
We are.
Yeah.
None of us got into Scientology of our own volition.
Yeah.
We all got in either at birth or as a
shortly
result
after.
of our parents
Right.
getting into Scientology. So
Exactly.
yeah, like
And
and even Tommy Davis is a second generation Scientologist for
Yeah.
crying out loud.
And
And
also,
probably the majority
so
of
is David-
Scientologists these days are second generation Scientology. New people aren't getting into Scientology.
Yeah, and that's
Thanks to
the
Google.
yeah, and that's the clincher is that they're disconnecting Scientologists from former Scientologists. They're not disconnecting Scientologists from a person who believes in another religion. It's connecting Scientologists from ex-Scientologists.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
that is the one religious belief that Scientology does not stand behind.
Yeah,
I mean, actually, they don't stand behind any of them, but they say they do. They
Yeah.
say that they support the rights of everybody to have whatever religious belief they choose, with one exception. I'm not a Scientologist is the religious belief that they absolutely do not countenance.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
Hail
that's
Xenu.
the terrible. Yep. And we have all told our stories of disconnection, and this is actually Christy was on the front page of the New York Times, Sunday edition of the New York Times, telling her story about disconnection. I don't
That's
know if
right.
you guys know that, but this is her and her former husband, Chris, breaking with Scientology. Front page of the New York Times, and on Anderson Cooper and a bunch of other people. And
The Today
I have
Show,
done it.
Matt
and
Lauer.
Matt and
Yep.
Mark and Claire have done this and been on numerous TV interviews and traveling. Mark, you went to Germany and testified about it. I mean, we have all talked about this ad infinitum because it is horrendous what Scientology does, but it's so galling that they lie so blatantly about it when there's so many people that know that it's a lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And because they have no real way to defend it besides just saying it doesn't happen. If they
Right.
said it happened, people would be like, well, why are you doing that? That's I know. That's kind of
Right.
cool. That's kind of cruel.
So what sort of prompted this discussion today is an article that I saw, and it was in Yahoo Life and Style, and it talked about Danny Masterson's estranged wife, Bijou Phillips, will have to cut ties with him amid Scientology expulsion. Okay. Who knows if that's really true? The rules are different for celebrities. But in the context of that article, they reached out to Scientology, and I don't know, I can't remember whether Scientology even answered, but they went to the website that Scientology uses. Oh yes, they did. Scientology answered. Corrine Powers quoted, and I then went to the website and went, wait a minute, what is this that they're saying? Because they have completely changed what they say on the Scientology website now. This is the page, what does suppressive person mean? And you will see, to be declared a suppressive person is extremely rare and results in expulsion from the Scientology religion. Commitment of acts deemed suppressive acts in the Scientology Justice Code, which includes the suppressive act of publicly renouncing the faith, an act which in Scientology, as well as almost every religion, is grounds for automatic expulsion. Okay, so here is Scientology actually stating that if you have publicly renounce Scientology, you are a suppressive person. It then goes on to say, when someone has been expelled from the religion, that person loses both his or her fellowship with the church as well as with other Scientologists. The condition lasts until they have been restored to good standing. Once the person has been restored to good standing, the prohibition against fellowship with other Scientologists is lifted. Scientology is actually now coming out and saying that even though they're using the euphemism losing fellowship,
Which Hubbard has never said that word fellowship in any policy.
they're trying. I mean, this is how bad things have gotten in Scientology. They are trying to identify that they are similar to the Jehovah's Witnesses, because that's what it's called. It's called disfellowshipping in the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yep.
They're trying to get themselves up to the level of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
But that statement blatantly, flat out says that Scientology declares people as suppressive persons if they publicly disavow Scientology. That means saying anything negative about Scientology. And that as a result, any Scientologist is required to not be in communication with them until the church says, or Scientology says, the person is restored to good standing, at which point they may again have fellowship with them.
Right.
Yeah. So it just highlights the point that it's a one-way street into Scientology. If you want to maintain relationship with your family, there is no way to do that going into and then out of Scientology.
There's no way to leave Scientology with ease. You cannot join Scientology and leave Scientology, unscathed. If you leave, you will be hurt somehow, some way. There's no way to just leave and actually tell anyone, I'm not a Scientologist anymore. You can't say that. You cannot say those words without being punished.
Right. And if you do, then you will never get your family back unless you go back into Scientology. Right. It's insanity.
And if you have family members that are in Scientology, if they don't disconnect from you, then they will also be declared a suppressive person, and then they won't be able to talk to anybody. So it is this Sophie's Choice thing where you either lose one family member or do you lose all your family members, and so that's how they do this. It's like trying to getting out of Scientology is like trying to cancel a Sirius XM subscription or something. I mean, it's just almost impossible,
So my first experience with Disconnection was when I was 15 years old. And Mark, Kelly Wasserman.
Yeah.
Remember Kelly? We went to school with Kelly at Delphi.
Yes.
And Kelly's father was declared a suppressive person. And Kelly was given Sophie's choice. She had to either disconnect from her father or her mother. So temporarily, she chose to disconnect from her father and stayed connected to her family, her mother and her sisters. And then after about a year or so, she decided, no, this is not cool. I never wanted to disconnect from my father. And she reconnected with her father, and the rest of her family completely abandoned her. And I was really good friends with her. We were best friends. And I said to my father, I don't want to disconnect from Kelly. She's my best friend. What do I do? I'm 15. And my dad said to me, if you don't disconnect from Kelly, I'm going to disconnect from you. Wow. And that's literally what happens. I'm 15.
I had no idea about Kelly that happened to her. Did she never go back into Scientology after that?
Never went back in, and
oh my goodness,
has a whole other story. But at that point in time, I was forced to officially disconnect. My first time ever at a 15-year-old child from my best friend, because my father was like, I will disconnect from you. Like, I live in his house. I rely on him for everything. And he's literally telling me, you disconnect from this person or you are out. Like at 15, this is what my father is telling me. This is how serious Scientology believes these policies.
Yep.
Wow.
That's insane. Yeah.
But
No.
but I just want to make another point though, which is this is another little indicator of Scientology being forced to change by outside pressure.
Mhm.
This is, you know, we know now that they no longer, you know, if a woman gets pregnant in the Sea Org, there's no discussion of abortions anymore. That is because of what has happened, exposing this practice. The
Mhm.
fact that Scientology now admits on their website that they engage in disfellowshipping people and that this is something that is enforced by Scientology and only gets unenforced when the person comes back into Scientology or is restored to good standing. That is very, very different than what they have said for many years. And I take it as an accomplishment for all the people who have spoken out, who have spoken up, who have made the point that this practice is going on and has been going on the entire time, and that families have been being broken up. It's not stopping them from doing it,
Mhm.
but at least it's forced them to have to admit that they do it. And
Yeah.
that's like, I know it sounds like I'm splitting hairs, but this sort of thing is very, very this change did not happen easily. I promise you. This change in how they present what the story of disconnection is was not a decision that was made lightly. And they decided that they were going to change this because they were worried about the problem that it will generate if someone ultimately gets before a court or law enforcement and is describing this, and then they go and pull up the Scientology website and it's just a lie.
Right.
Their credibility keeps being challenged and proven to be incredible. And I just want everybody that's watching this, everybody who has ever stood up and said something about disconnection, to take a little moment and go, hey, we had a little victory here.
Mhm.
This is a little victory. We haven't ended disconnection, not by any stretch, but it's moving actually in the right direction.
Mhm.
Because if they're so worried about that and what they're saying about it, they're also worried about the ramifications of doing it.
Right.
Yeah, and we can call it disconnection. We can call it disfellowship. We can call it whatever they want to call it. It's still
It's the same
ridiculous.
Of course it is. But
Yeah.
also, if we think back, like we know certain things that happen inside Scientology and the organization. The strictness with which this is enforced these days is way less than it used to be.
Mhm.
We have heard a lot of stories now of people who have been allowed to go and visit family members who were very ill or dying in hospital or something, that back in the day when I was in the Sea Org, it would never have happened.
Yeah.
Those people would never have been allowed to go off on a compassionate leave to see a dying family member who had been declared SP.
Yeah.
And it is happening now. So that was what I've dominated this conversation. Sorry, guys, but this
No,
was
not
just
at
sort
all.
of, this came to my attention and I was like, holy tamale. I don't know that anybody has really focused on this. I certainly hadn't until that article came out.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it's funny that they have their international spokesperson on TV saying the exact opposite thing that their website now says. So
Yes.
that does give you a glimpse into how Scientology works is they will, when they're on TV, they'll tell you whatever they think TV wants to hear. At the moment, they don't think anyone's going to go look up a Scientology policy after they watch the CNN episode. But all the Scientologists that are watching, they know the policy inside and out. So it's ridiculous if you're in Scientology when they lie, because they really do know exactly what Mike said. The policy has been heavily enforced for the last 70 years.
Yeah.
They did learn from the Tommy Davis mistake. Doesn't matter if we're $1 billion cult. Best not to have any public person speak publicly about Scientology on national television ever.
Unless she's your lawyer and you can just fire her after she says something stupid.
Yeah.
Blink. We're talking about Blinky McBlinkface.
Has she ever said anything about disconnection? I can't remember. On TV.
I think that she got asked about it somewhere, maybe with Tommy Davis when she was interviewed on the Anderson Cooper thing.
Yeah.
I think when they
Inchwise.
were sitting there together, and I think that she has resorted to the same, there is no such policy as you characterize it
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
answer. You know,
And that might have been a Dave. That might have just very well. I don't think Monique said it because Tommy said it. I think Tommy and Monique said it because that's what Dave told them. Hey, you
Yeah.
gotta. This doesn't exist as you're characterizing it. So
Right.
that's another thing that Tommy does in that interview. He answers that guy. He doesn't answer the questions that the guy's asking. He's trying to get out the statement that he's been preloaded by David Miscavige to give. And so he starts talking about other religions and stuff like that. Instead of saying, hey, did that happen? He's asking about Jenna. She said that happened. Did that happen? And then he just says some other thing. He never answers the question. That's called a no answer in Scientology.
Or a
Yeah.
newspeak transcript dictated by David Miscavige, whichever way.
okay. I just saw something in the comments that I want to pull up here.
I saw it too, Mike.
I went, oh my God. And on Mike, you're being too generous. It is also still on the website that there is no disconnection policy. LOL. It's in the FAQs. If you put disconnection in the search, they contradict their own website.
Oh, somebody's got to
Wow.
screenshot that.
Oh, yes.
Actually,
definitely.
if you don't mind, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So they don't even have their story straight on their own website.
No, of course not. Nobody has had enough sleep in
That's
Scientology to be thorough and change their story everywhere.
Right.
I mean, you know,
I just want to make
liars
this
are
fair.
always going to get caught.
Go ahead,
I'm going to
Mark.
go check it out. Osa, you're on the clock. Can you change the site before I can find it? Okay. Start.
Yeah. Oops.
Ready, steady, go.
Okay, we're having an interwebs competition here, folks. This
Oh,
is going
that's
to be
funny.
fun. Mark's going to win this. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
definitely true, though. Can I add in what you said about how they're inconsistent with this policy too, and sometimes they don't follow the policy so they can try to, maybe minimize some damage that they think is coming, and then they switch it up and enforce it. So that happened to me with my ex-husband and his mother. So he had a lot of interaction with David Miscavige and David Miscavige's direct juniors when he was doing the Joburg org renovations. And when he decided to leave the Sea Org, and when we left the Sea Org, shortly after, Chris is my ex-husband, his mother was declared because she blew the Tampa org after being on staff there. And he was allowed to continue communicating with her because they didn't want him to turn into an enemy. So they let him, for like a couple of months, remain connected to his declared mother. But he continued to do his research and speak to Marty Rathbun and whatever, and then eventually decided, I'm not a Scientologist anymore. And when they found out that I was also leaving Scientology with him and was planning to talk to my parents, they put the kibosh on it for both of us and declared us. But prior to that, he was allowed to talk to his mother, who was a declared SP, because that was keeping him happy. They thought that was keeping him happy and not having him turn into a worse problem for them. But then once he was, we were both declared, and all of our family had to disconnect from us. So they don't they don't follow it standardly. They pick and choose. They do whatever they want. They do it sometimes. They don't do it other times.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I can't figure out how to get rid of this comment now.
Oh, here, I can do it.
It doesn't say delete. There you go. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Claire.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Headley, do you have
I'm just
the goods?
prepping it for StreamYard. Just give me a
Okay,
sec.
good
I
man.
have it though. I have both of them, and the person's right. It says it right there. There's no such. It basically says just what Tommy says.
Oh my God.
Insanity.
This is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Crazy.
Someone done messed up.
Oh yeah, big time. They're like,
You're right though, Claire.
I know an idea. Let's update our statement.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, they probably went through what do you think, Mike? Like 6 weeks to get it fine-tuned and approved and
Yep.
streamlined and exact words, and they're like, oh, finally it's done. Post it. Nobody ever thought to be like, well, wait a minute.
What else do we say on
Yes.
here about disconnection?
Yes, exactly.
It is crazy. And that is how the world of Scientology and particularly the Sea Org works. And the sad truth is that you were exactly right, Claire. Nobody's had enough sleep to be thinking clearly enough to go, we just changed this. We better go check and see if there's something else we need to change too.
Or frankly, even to care enough, because it's not that they at this point, whoever's executing this are androids just carrying out David Miscavige's orders.
Yeah.
It's not that they're invested or that they care or anything else. Of course, to them, it's probably even the thought wouldn't even cross their mind. Like, well, why would we check other places? Because they know it's all bullshit anyway. Excuse my language, but they're just wordsmithing at this point. So at following orders from David Miscavige. So, whatever.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So it says, what is disconnection? And then it has a whole bunch of nonsense about it. But then at the very bottom, it says,
there is no Scientology disconnection policy that requires church members to disconnect from anyone, let alone family and friends who simply have different beliefs. Ha!
Oh, really? Is that why my children have never met their grandparents?
And this is exactly what I was saying before.
Okay.
This sentence is what Tommy Davis said on that interview. This whole exact thing is exactly what he said. So this was already pre-written and Tommy Davis said it, and then they updated everything to say this, and they just haven't gone back and taken it off. So,
and as you said, they love to double down. To the contrary, the moral code of Scientology mandates that Scientologists respect the religious beliefs of others. The church encourages excellent family relationships, Scientologists or not, and family relations routinely improve with Scientology because the Scientologist learns how to increase communication and resolve any problems that may have previously existed.
Oh, is that so? Is that why you have many, many family members doing hate videos on us simply because we escaped Scientology with the clothes on our backs, after which you chased after us and crossed state lines in an attempt to bring us back? I mean, worlds apart. Like the level of lie is just so infuriating.
I know.
And even still, like this whole point about improved communication skills. So if their communication skills are so good, why can't they talk to us and hear what we have to say and decide for themselves? Like, why can't they handle our communication? We have things to say. We want to tell our parents that, here's what really happened. If their skills are so good, they'll be able to hear it and listen and, decide for themselves. But they don't
confront and shatter us.
Right. And they don't even have the opportunity because anyway, it's ridiculous. It's such a double speak, Yeah.
Newspeak from George Orwell's 1984. Newspeak. That's what it's called.
Claire, I think it might be a good point to mention the Connect.
Yes. Okay, people. To all of the people watching here, as you can tell, we have all personally been impacted very at very deep levels by disconnection. And we're also, obviously, everyone knows, all the four of us here work with the Aftermath Foundation on the board. And we have just launched a new initiative of the Aftermath Foundation called Aftermath Connect. And so if you go to the Aftermath Foundation website now, you'll see a tab that says Missing Persons. And in the theme of and continuing the strength and courage of Leah Remini when she left Scientology and filed a missing persons report on Shelley Miscavige, we integrated that theme for the many other people that are in Scientology that nobody has heard from in many, many years. So if you go to this missing person page, it's a dedicated initiative that the Aftermath Foundation is just launching. We'll obviously be putting this in our newsletter that's coming out shortly and talk about this at our next fundraiser. But if you have a loved one in Scientology that you've lost contact with, you can submit a page with a message to that person. Anyone else that has information on that person can also submit that. Anyone that knew that person can post messages to that person. And this is the Aftermath Foundation's answer to fighting and exposing and targeting the destructive and evil practice of disconnection. So please help us spread the word and go check it out. We already have a few listings there. It's just in the baby steps of launch. But the idea is that we will create a directory of all the loved ones we've lost in Scientology where we can post messages to those people. And should that person come across their page, then they can say, yes, I want to reconnect. And it will obviously take care of all the logistics of that.
You want me to show it?
Yes. Please.
Okay.
I knew you were frantically typing away there.
I know. I'm sorry if I was clickety clacking and blippity blopping.
This is one of our many passions of, battling Scientology and hopefully abolishing the practice of disconnection from Earth.
There it is.
Okay, there we go. So from the homepage of the Aftermath Foundation, you click on Missing Persons, and this is the page. And so if you click on where it says Missing Someone, Missing Persons Directory, that's where you can submit a page for any person that you've lost to Scientology. You can post a message to them. You can do it anonymously or with your name. Doesn't matter. Amy Scobie, who is also part of the board of the Aftermath Foundation, will be the person reviewing the submissions. Obviously, we have certain restrictions. This is not about hate or belief or anything else. This is about reconnecting with loved ones. That is the beginning and the end of this initiative.
Awesome. And then I also wanted to show you something else. During this stream, if you use Merch Me, that'll enter you into our giveaway thing. So
Yay.
Merch Me and you get a giveaway. We'll show you.
So you figured this little sucker out too, huh?
Yes, we did. And it works amazing.
Okay.
Yay. I knew it would be amazing when it finally worked. That's what I said last time.
You were right.
And what is it that we're giving away today?
It's whatever people want. So the way we usually do it is during the week, people buy merch or they write to us or whatever, and I'm going to say almost every single week somebody will send in and say, hey, I want to donate this amount for a giveaway. So Claire will know what those are.
But in the theme of today's show, on the spshop.com, we actually have a Reconnect the Disconnected shirt. So
we do.
Nice.
We do.
Oh,
Yes.
I want one of those.
Yes, I'll send you one right after this.
Don't send it to me.
Okay, I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. But and it doesn't have to be that. I'm just going to say that that shirt was designed with this initiative in mind, that we were going to make a distinct effort to put our foot down and say, you know what, Earth, people, families, loved ones, disconnection is not okay. This is not okay. It is somebody's fundamental human right to have a relationship with their family as a basic building block of humanity.
Yes.
Excellent.
Amen.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, we can give away the T-shirt. I'll do a signed book tonight. We can do a whole bunch of stuff.
Awesome.
I know that people really enjoy that, and it's sort of, as we used to say, it's in the spirit of play.
Ah.
Ew.
No. This is the new one. This is the new one. Mark's version. Sharing is caring. Living is giving. Don't be dumb. Give me some.
That's right.
I like that way better than the
Spirit of
Ew,
play.
Yeah, there you go.
Do we
That
By
way
the
we're
way,
not
it's
cringing.
true. Is it true, Mark? Someone put in the comments, you only need to put merch me one time. You don't need to put it keep redoing it.
Yeah,
Nope.
that was on the banner. It says, use
Okay.
merch me in the comments to enter away our giveaways during this stream. Only one comment is required to enter. Multiple entries are no needed. It's not needed. It's no needed. It's
No
no
needed.
needed.
No needed. No
Here,
needed
I'll
at
fix
all.
that. There you go.
Yes.
Ka-pow.
Not needed.
And we just like merch me because then it doesn't matter. It's something, a book, whatever. So.
Yeah, and the person can pick, frankly.
Should we do one giveaway now and then answer some questions and then
Yes.
do a giveaway after we're done with the questions?
Yes,
or we can do
sure.
one in the middle or whatever.
Yeah, let's do
Let's
do
do
one
it.
now and then.
Perfect.
Okay. So this is how it works. So we just share this and then we say draw. Poof. So I'm going to click draw.
So see, it shows 325 entries
Yep.
into this draw.
And we can do
Look at that.
multiple drawings.
Does it go through all 325?
No,
before
Yeah.
it's
no.
winner?
No,
Duchess Diana.
Duchess Diana.
Congratulations.
It does
Yay.
cycle through all of the entries on that screen. It flips through every single one and then it just slows down when it gets to the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So Duchess Diana needs to write to Claire and say what she wants.
Yes.
But what do
So-
you do if you want my book?
That's okay.
Then she'll
Either
tell,
way,
and then
we'll take
figure
care
it
of it. So Duchess Diana, please send me an email, claire@blownforgood.com. Include the link from the merch store as to what you would like. It can be from Mike's merch store or from Blown for Good or from the spshop.com, which is where the Reconnect the Disconnected shirt is, for example. We also added new merch at the spshop.com. So we have I Support the Aftermath Foundation hoodies and all kinds of great stuff there. So yes, just send me the link of what you would like and I will respond with a giveaway link. So you don't need to send me your address or anything else, just the link to what you would like.
Oh my God, we are so slick.
Ah,
We're trying.
yay.
We're trying. We're getting better at
Winning.
this.
All right. Okay, so we're going to do some questions.
Yes, some
Comments,
questiones.
whatever. Are you going to do the? Are you
Do
going
you want me to
take
read
charge of
them?
it?
Do you want me to read them, Mike?
Yes, honey.
There we
Okay,
go.
something
Perfect.
Good
different?
idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Just
well,
start at the top.
this is not a question, but hello, Apostate Alex. Big love to you all. ARC, DeSemsec, SPTV, UK Foundation.
Hey, Alex, you got to stop the musical chairs. You were
Yeah,
the DCO
seriously.
something or other last time. Now
Yeah.
you're the DeSemsec. You just got you got to get your hat on, dude. I
Or-
think that you should just start calling yourself Commanding Officer SPTV UK.
Or just put HFA at the end of everything. Because that's in Scientology, that's
Held
called
from above.
held from above. Yes.
Lovely.
Here we go. Maria de Jesus Gutierrez. YouTube's in my pocket is not optimal because touchscreen. I wind up
Yes.
inadvertently clicking on every ad. Zero, many funds.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's what I was
got
trying
it.
to explain because I've
Good
done
point,
it.
Maria.
I've done it always and it's
Yeah.
not good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Valerie Bolajak, hugs and thanks to each of you. Thank you, Valerie.
Nice.
Hugs and thanks back to you.
Yes. Nice to see you here.
Lori Plantamuro. I come from a Christian family. I am a bastard child of an unwed woman from 1974 era. I understand the theory of disconnect. Thank you for all you do. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Lori.
Yes. Thank you, Lori.
Michelle Carpenter, in imminent trouble source. FYI, our very own Marilyn Honig will be on this Wednesday's or tomorrow for patrons episode of LAMLM, followed by several Scientology SPTV episodes exposing the truth about this nasty organization.
Nice.
All right.
Life after MLM.
Yes,
Thank-
that's the name of Michelle's channel.
Andrea Russo, super sticker. Thank you, Andrea.
Hey,
What
Phil.
did I do?
Hey, Phil.
I-
Phil,
Yeah,
restored to
you.
good
I
standing.
started that one just because it was Phil, and he has got one of the more. He and Willie have one of the more famous and sad disconnection stories ever. So,
Yes.
hey,
Yes.
Phil.
But
Yeah,
by,
and
the,
his-
by the way, Phil authorized us to use the Call Me billboard artwork
Oh,
on the
nice.
Aftermath Connect page. So we will be adding that
Oh,
Nice.
as
great.
well. Yes.
And his good comment, restored to good standing means joining
Joining
Scientology
Scientology.
again.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no other
Exactly.
good standing. You have to
Yeah.
be back in the church.
No, which, and for Mark and I, just to be specific, that means we'd have to pay $160,000 to Scientology. We'd have to, go.
And they wouldn't accept you back.
Of
You
course
two
they
don't
wouldn't.
have, they pretend to have a reentry program for everybody, but it's really not for everybody. It's only
No.
for the people they will actually accept. And we aren't on that list.
That's
yeah,
right.
the steps
Not
to
that we
get
want to be, but
I'm
we're
grateful.
just not.
I'm
Yeah.
grateful. I earned my spot on the never
Yeah.
to be accepted
course.
backlist.
But it's just a totally untrue statement that everyone's
Yes.
welcome back if they do the right steps. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
Well-
not
just
true.
just as it's untrue to say that they encourage family relationships. I mean,
Right.
really?
Right.
Ask my mother if she. Anyway, whatever. That's
Yes.
we'll
But the
abort.
steps to get back in are called the A to E steps, which you will hear us talk about on different episodes, specifically in the spy files, because OSA are telling people to get through their A to E steps in all these files. But the A step, the step A, is to write up all of the things that you've been doing and basically confess to all your crimes that made you leave Scientology, and to say, I will stop committing these crimes. And so that's the first step. And then you have to pay the money. Their step to approve you to get back in is after you've done everything they need to do to neuter you as a threat. Once they've done all those things, then they may or may not decide to let you back in. But
Right.
either way, they've got enough ammunition on you so that if you do attack them, then they can pull up these things saying, "Oh, you admitted that you did all these crimes, and that's why you left Scientology." And you'll say anything to be able to talk to your family again. So people write up whatever they want them to write up.
And as you know, Mark, from personal experience, they also ask that people turn on and provide information about others who have spoken out about
Yes.
Scientology.
Yes, like they did with us when
Right.
in our lawsuit, when in the final judge ruling, we were ordered to pay $43,000 and change in court costs. And our lawyer said, hey, look, our clients will walk away, just waive this bill. And Scientology said, nope, you've got to turn over the rights to Mark's book, Blown for Good Behind the Iron Curtain of Scientology. You have to agree to never, ever speak publicly about Scientology ever again. You have to turn over any information of any media person you've ever spoken to about Scientology. And you've got to turn over any and all communication with any former Scientologists you've ever spoken to. And we were like,
And especially at the time,
Marty
Marty
Rathbun.
was their
Marty Rathbun,
biggest,
yes.
he was Scientology's #1 enemy, and they specifically named him in the document, and any communications that you've had with Marty. And they would make a deal with us if we would do that. They'd forgive that money.
they'd
So,
forgive that bill. And we
yeah.
said, no, thanks.
And wrote him a
Here's the
check.
cashier's check. And then, of course, our good friend Jason Begay said, oh, you guys should do a fundraiser after the fact of us having paid it. And so we were like, I don't know. And we did a fundraiser. And seriously, to this day, that was one of the most incredible things. We made back the fundraiser filled that hole that we had sold Mark's fan. We had to scramble. I mean, $43,000 is a
Claire.
lot for anybody. I mean, I was crying every single day. I was like, oh my God, there are so many good people in this world. This is amazing. And
In a week, we got all the
yeah,
money in a week.
You did.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, oddly enough, Marty donated 9,000 of that from a fund that he had created, a legal fund that he had created for Debbie Cook.
Yes.
And because it was a legal thing, he asked all the people that donated, hey, do you mind if we give this money to the Headleys? And that put us, I think it was over 50K in the end.
It covered the GoFundMe fees and everything else. There wasn't a whole lot of, we donated to other people's GoFundMes after that to
Balance
net
it
out.
out.
You all know I'm a bookkeeper at heart, so things like that really matter to me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Free Xenu Project of Forsec. Fellowship? Seriously, what does little baby Davy think he's in? Middle Earth? This is TGAC. Common Scientology. Get your fantasies straight.
Like I
Always.
said, they are trying to sound like the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Mormons.
Yeah.
Fellowshipping and disfellowshipping is a term that they have made sort of acceptable.
Yeah. I don't know who
Impressive.
started this one. But
I
Skip
did.
Press. Okay. Did you want to say something about it, Mike?
No, just because Skip Press is someone who has been around for a very, very, very long time,
Yeah.
speaking out about Scientology. And I just thought that was a very apropos quote. This is good, but I don't think hell is going to freeze over until they get David Miscavige firmly inside.
Yes.
You're right, Skip.
Yeah, there
Yes.
you go.
One other thing before I forget, in one of those quotes that you read, the very first line said it is very rare for someone to be a
Right.
declared.
Oh my God.
There are more declared suppressive persons from Scientology than there are members of Scientology. In the 1990s, they issued a list of suppressive persons and groups that was tens of thousands of people long. And that was in the 90s. And they've been declaring people full time since the 90s. So I would absolutely guarantee that it is not rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely fair to say there are more people whose lives have been devastatingly impacted by disconnection than there are Scientologists.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Sue L.
Yes. Thank you.
And Kimberly Stovall. Fellowship is so Baptist. I'm a Baptist preacher's kid. If someone is kicked out, it just means they are no longer members, but their family are still allowed to have them in their lives. Use of fellowship is a dog whistle.
Great.
It
point.
is.
Absolutely
Yeah.
It
right.
really
Great
is.
Those people just can't come to the church sometimes.
Yeah, they still talk to their families.
Yeah.
They still go to Thanksgiving and Christmas and whatever.
That is an important thing to bring up. I know there are some other religions where the shunning, this disfellowship, shunning, fellowship,
Yeah.
whatever, there's graduating scales of it. And maybe Mike is right. Maybe it's more akin to the JW version than it is to the Baptist version. But they know that several religions have that same kind of terminology. So they're playing into that.
They're trying to make themselves seem more normal.
Yeah.
Right.
and
But
really,
in practice, I also firmly think it's fair to say that disconnection is more cruel than death. I really do.
it's horrible. There's no closure.
Yeah.
There's no closure whatsoever. My father disconnected from me. The last thing I heard from him was his smear video that he posted, and then he died, and that's it. So there's no resolution. It's awful. It's really, really awful.
Yeah.
Angela Leah Joy Anderson. We are not Scientologists. My daughter, age 16, wants to go to Delphian. Can you go and graduate and not be a Scientologist? Technically,
Don't go.
Technically you can. But
technically you can, and they do accept non-Scientologists, but they are an indoctrination school. So you do not want to let your daughter go there if you really can convince her.
A large
because
majority.
she's going to be surrounded. All of her friends are going to be Scientologists.
Yeah.
All their parents are going to be Scientologists.
Children at that age are incredibly impressionable. Peer pressure is a real thing. We've all lived through it. We all know it. Christy, you and I have teenagers. We know what this is. And
Mark and I went to Delphi.
Yes.
Yeah, Delphi is the number one source of recruits for the Sea organization. And At the Ent base, there was at least 30 or 40 people there that all came from Delphi.
Many.
And same thing in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
There were hundreds of staff and Sea Org members in the Los Angeles area near the Delphi school that they recruit them from the school sometimes. They go to the school and recruit them.
The teachers are Scientologists. The curriculum has covert Scientology in it.
Yeah.
It's a Scientology indoctrination school. So we don't recommend it.
If I were the parent of this daughter, I would find out in depth exactly why she wants to go to Delphi.
She's 16. She can watch the aftermath.
Yes, exactly.
She's old enough to watch the aftermath. I would put her on watch the aftermath, or watch any of these YouTube videos where Mark and I have talked about Delphi. I did a whole video with Amy Scobie where I talked in depth about my experiences at Delphi. The recruiters showed up on the campus.
Yes.
The guy,
that girl, Jamie Wasserman, was a Delphi student. The story that Christy was telling, that was Delphi.
Yeah.
The guy that's being sued right now, or that's part of the lawsuit, the recruiter, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name?
Gavin Potter.
Gavin Potter showed up in full Class A, which is their fancy uniform, to Delphi, fake Navy uniform, to recruit young girls mostly, and that they're not safe there. So that's we're warning you.
Yeah. Keep her far away. Find something else that fixes whatever it is the reason she wants to go there in the first place. Yeah. There are many other accredited, valid, encouraging, forms of replacing that.
And that's a good point too. The Delphi says they're accredited. I know several students that ended up leaving Scientology, but they graduated from the Delphian Foundation, or whatever they call it. Is it called the Delphian Foundation? Or
the Delphian School, I think, is the real
Anyway,
name.
When they went to go to college, they ended up having to do all sorts of additional courses and other things to be able to even be accepted to college, because the stuff that they did at the Delphi Academy was useless and not recognized by any legitimate college or advanced education degrees that you'd like to get. So it's not a good idea. It's super expensive. It's a ton of Hubbard. All of the curriculum that Delphi uses is based on the works of L. Ron Hubbard. So they just take Scientology.
Not to mention the fact that we're all living proof Scientology will destroy your family, weaponize them against you, and
we're really hot on this question.
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
don't do it. Don't do it. If you do it and something goes wrong, we done told you so. Okay. And
no, 16 is way
Mike
too
wants
young.
to say something, and we're not even letting him talk. We're just going and going and going. Mike, what did you want to say to sweet Angela?
It's not even that important at this point, but I was going to say, look, even if you do not graduate calling yourself a Scientologist, you will graduate applying L. Ron Hubbard technology to your life, because you must employ L. Ron Hubbard study technology in order to participate in any of the courses at Adelphian Academy. So you will, in fact, be, by Scientology's definition of a Scientologist by reason of applying the technology of L. Ron Hubbard in your life.
Liz Gale went there. If you haven't seen her episode of The Aftermath, or her videos, or her Instagram or social media, she went to Delphi, and she went to the one in Oregon, which I think is the one you're talking about.
Yes, that's right.
So that we got enough people here.
I just got to give Liz a plug for her sense of humor. Her irony, her sense of humor. Her book is wonderful. It is so funny and so poignant at the same time. That little comment is a glimpse of Liz's perspective on things.
Yes. So to that mother, go read Liz Gale's book.
Yes.
Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist. I know I'm missing the fun part of the title where it's crossed out and says pothead or something like that.
Exactly.
Sorry, Liz, if I botched it. I did my best. But go read that book. Yes.
Don't you have that on your nightstand?
I do. I'm in the middle of reading it. I already told Liz I would do an interview with her. It's just been a few too many late nights of recent. I'm not usually this slow at reading, but I'll get caught up.
All right, here we go. Tenacious Art Girl. We've managed to finish the Delphi topic. It's amazing.
Yay.
Of all
Now.
the ex-Scientologists y'all personally know, what percentage do you think ever join another religion after escaping Scientology, or do the majority avoid any kind of religion permanently?
I would say
It's hard to say, but
my answer to that is just ballpark based on what I know. I think probably about 5% find a religion afterwards. Quite frankly, speaking for myself, organized religion carries a lot of trauma, and I'm still in recovery from that. So, there you have it.
And always will be.
Yeah, exactly. That's my answer to that. I hold no grudges against anybody. I know there are many real religions. I've had some amazing talks with some ladies who are Buddhists and other things that I have honestly found fascinating. I'm just like, let me read a book, and please do not ever tell me what to think about anything. I will literally show you the highway to hell.
Yes.
and I can concur or whatever. We had some JWs come and knock on our door. Oh, Claire gave it to them. I think they put us on a list because they've never come back.
They had the unfortunate experience of coming to visit me. Mark was out of town. I hadn't had any coffee yet. My kids were super young at the time. And I opened the door and I was like, I've just spent 30 years in a cult. I am not talking to you. And I slammed the door in their face. And you know what? It felt kind of good, I got to say.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. They definitely put us on a list.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Claire.
Thank you.
All right, Dawn in YO. Mike, Christy, Claire, Mark, I love you all. My blah, blah, blah shirt is coming. Have Mike's signed book. Want Mark's and Claire's book signed as well. Comment. The Amish shun seems to be a religious thing. I'm currently shunned from AG Christianity. Yes, it is a religious thing. I mean, there are other religions and cults and organizations that do it. It's not just Scientology.
What's AG?
Thanks, Don.
Do you know what AG Christianity is?
I don't know.
I can look.
Can somebody in the comments please tell us what AG means? We have a misunderstood word.
Yes, we're going to all fall asleep.
Okay, here's a good one. Barb tries. Question: what is the LRH policy covering disconnection? Like, what is the L. Ron Hubbard policy?
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
So, which policy is it though? I think
Mark,
you're muted.
You're
Mark.
muted.
Sorry.
It's related to this whole technology, which is the PTSD technology of L. Ron Hubbard. If you're a suppressive person and you suppress other people, those people are considered potential trouble sources. And there's L. Ron Hubbard policies about that. And the only way you can not be a potential trouble source is to disconnect from the source of the suppression. So it's in the ethics book. There's other Mike, do you want to specifically?
Well, actually, what Hubbard actually says is, and this is where the fudging always comes in. He says, handle or disconnect. In other words, you're supposed to handle the person to be fine about your participation in Scientology, or to understand that their criticism was not well-founded or whatever. And that gets used to explain that this is a personal choice, and this, you get to decide how you're going to deal with this. But in actual fact, it is a suppressive act in Scientology to remain connected to someone declared a suppressive person by Scientology.
Right.
They don't make mention of that part. And that's what was so remarkable about that thing we read in the beginning, is that in euphemistic terms, they are acknowledging that is the fact, that it is dictated by Scientology who an SP is, and that a Scientologist may not be in communication with them. Well, they lose their fellowship with them until they are restored to good standing.
Yep.
And there's L. Ron Hubbard policies that list the suppressive acts. So that policy.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. It's a high crime to have a communication or be connected to a suppressive person in Scientology.
Okay, Assembly of God.
Of
Thank
God,
you,
yeah.
Dawn.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Dawn.
Dawn.
We appreciate it.
Margaret Krivenek, thank you for all you do. You are my 4 favorite SPTV folks.
Wow.
Thank you,
Oh, thank you.
Margaret.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
kind. Anon A.
We
That
did
was the
this one.
comment
yeah.
that
Okay.
tipped us off. Thank you, Anon A.
John, is the Scientology website managed by INT or middle management?
Int.
INT.
Yes. International management.
David Miscavige's people.
Yep.
Peeps.
The top. At the top. Linda Indrisi, I have an ex-SIO friend who is now going through a soft disconnect from family. Any advice how to help support them as a never in? Good question.
What's
Yeah.
a soft disconnect?
So I
That's-
think it means that they're basically distancing themselves from her friend. This is my interpretation of that. And I would just encourage the ex-Scientologist friend to just let every family member know that he or she loves them, accepts them, and will always be there for them. That's what I wish I'd had the chance to tell my siblings still in Scientology, that no matter what, if that they could, I would always tell them exactly what happened, and I will always be there for them no matter what happens. No questions asked. I do not judge them. I do not judge them for their beliefs, but I will be there for them. That's what I would suggest.
Good advice, Claire Bear.
Thank you.
Ken's channel. Dated a JW 30 years ago. First, she said she stopped going. After a month, she started going more often and then broke up with me. I now feel sorry for her because now I know she had to choose shunning or me. I don't blame her.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We all have those friggin' professional grade elephant-sized rear view mirrors that are really irritating sometimes. But,
Yep.
It's okay.
Yep. Catherine S. It's like they're doing you a favor by letting you talk to your family when they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great point.
Oh my God. It's
Yeah.
That's a
so-
great comment.
It's so evil. It's so
is
evil that
so
they have
evil.
that level of control. It's just
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys the good side of this, though. This is not all bad news here.
No.
Because we have a thing where we hang out with our neighbors on Fridays. And every Friday, I get to hear about the mother-in-law this and the brother-in-law that and the son-in-law this. And I always think to myself, dodged a bullet on that one.
Yeah, and also too, like, all joking aside, I was greatly impacted by the fact of our kids not knowing our parents until I realized that the significance I was placing on it was because of my relationship with my mother and wanting my mother to have a relationship with my kids. And it's her choice not to. And unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that she has made herself strangers to our kids, as has Mark's mom. And so we went to a funeral when our kids were still pretty little, like our oldest was 6 or 7. And for whatever reason, again, like you were saying, Christy, when they alter things, it's just cruel. Mark's mom put on this show like, oh, hey,
She
love
talked to
you.
us the whole day.
And her family were like, oh my God, this is amazing. She's talking to you guys. And we were like, eh.
I even told him, I said, watch, this is a show for you guys so that you'll back off on being critical of Scientology as well, because otherwise she'll have to disconnect from you, because they'd all read my book and they knew everything. And then she said, oh, I'll send you some pictures of my sister. And she was talking to the kids. The boys didn't want anything to do with her.
No,
They're like, who
'cause
is
she was a
this?
stranger
Who is this
to them.
woman?
We had to tell our oldest son, that's Dad's mom. That's your grandma. And
Yeah.
it didn't matter at that point what we said because she was a stranger.
right.
Yeah.
It's not from anything. We've never said anything bad to our kids about our family, except that we're honest with them and we say, you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately, family members make bad choices and they get involved in organizations that control their decisions as to who they can and can't talk to. And hopefully one day our family will wake up and reunite with us. It's nothing you've done. It's nothing we've done. It's just that they're in a dangerous organization that controls who they can talk to. And that's the reality.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, poor Jack, he's had a few years where they had Grandparents' Day or they had this or they had that. And it's like, I don't have a grandparent. And we had a friend go and be the adopted grandparent.
We'll come anytime, Christy. We'll come anytime.
It was Uncle Paul, and it was the sweetest thing. And I was so grateful that he went on Grandparents' Day with Jack so he could have somebody and not be the only kid without a grandparent.
Yeah.
And, it's just stuff like that is just so mean and just breaks your heart.
It really does. It shows you the level of depravity that Scientology will stoop to in terms of destroying families.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Next comment. I heard that COB Miscavige is starting, this is from Rune Sky Sting. Sorry, I didn't say that at first. I heard that COB Miscavige is starting a cryptocurrency. I wonder what it will be named. Theta Bucks or maybe Engrams coin?
Theta Bucks.
Theta
Gonna call
Oh my goodness.
BT coin.
Salty Beach Girl Lori. To be fair, how many people get past page 1 on website?
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah.
Who even goes to that website besides the
Nobody.
click farm? The click farms they hire.
Yeah.
They have, you guys, you got to see this sometime. They have Scientology has a web page or a YouTube channel, and it just plays whatever's on Scientology TV. It just plays all day and all night on their channel. But and whenever you go in there, there's like 4 people watching. But they have videos like their Super Bowl ads or videos that they're trying to promote that have 50 million views, but they only have like 80,000 subscribers. And so you see, oh yeah, they were paying click farms to get their stuff watched. That's the only way they're getting their numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Zenobia Boyd. Hi from Scotland. It's 12:30 a.m. Can't believe Tom helicoptered into St. Hill like it's 1985. What a nut.
Yeah,
we all concur.
Oh my goodness. Like it's Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
He couldn't confront and shatter the protesters, so he had to fly over them.
Mission non-confront.
Oh my God. He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
OG T-Bell, question. Does COS encourage someone to drop the body if they can't get off psych meds because they want to unalive?
Well, first of all, you can't even be in Scientology if you're on psychiatric medicines. That's just any kind of psychiatric care is forbidden in Scientology.
Yep.
But they do. If somebody is near unaliving themselves, they will tell them to drop the body. That is a command that they give them to drop this body, and they try to kind of guide them to the one they should pick up.
Yeah, but
My sister.
That's not when someone is actually in that frame of mind. That's when someone is terminal in their illness.
Yeah.
It's not that it's some, otherwise physically healthy person who's made a decision that they no longer wish to live.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Before we do another question, do we want to do another giveaway?
Yes, please.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's
Take a break.
Gotcha.
Take a break.
Okay. So this is the last winner. We're going to draw again. I'm going to hit the button. And there it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. We are at the mercy of StreamYard.
YH.
YH. Yay. Send me an email.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You win, YH. Send us an email at claire@blownforgood.com with your selection as to what you would like to receive.
Woohoo.
Woohoo.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
it.
We'll do
Ready.
one at the very end after all the questions are done, guys.
Yep.
All right. Oh, we've only got 47 to go.
All right,
Oh,
we're moving along
goodness.
quickly.
Okay.
Curly Kaylee, I have so many good wishes and admirations for what you guys do. A super chat can't fit all the words. Keep kicking COBs behind.
Yes.
Nice.
Ma'am.
That's
or
not what it
yes,
said.
ma'am. Yes, it is.
Well, you know, Mike, I don't mind saying, I mean, I love doing the videos with you and all, but when it gets Randy in here, the videos will be demonetized, okay? So we got to watch what
Gotta
words
watch
we
it.
say.
Willie
You
is
do.
in the house. They are
Willie
losing
Jones.
Hey, Willie and Phil, we got
it.
them
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank
Willie is
you
Emily's
all
mom.
for bringing this to light. We still have hope to reconnect with our 2 children.
Yes.
Willie
we
is
all do.
Phil's wife, who was on here
You know
earlier.
what? You know what Scientology can't take from us? Hope.
No.
Boom. There you go.
Okay, and Phil again here. Phil Jones, we put our 2 kids' info up on the Aftermath Connect site. Thank you so much for doing this.
Amazing.
Great.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And I hope everybody can share and help us spread the word. Excuse me. Spread the word on this initiative. It is a project that is fueled by our passion to stop disconnection. So
Yep.
Yes. Free Xenu Project of Farsec. My heart goes out to all 4 of you and everyone that has had this disconnection or whatever they call it, put you through torment that is inhuman. The cult of Scientology must end.
yes.
Here,
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yes.
Anon A, I'm glad you found it, Mark. It proved the lying right on their website. They can't both be true.
It's so
Incredible.
ridiculous.
Yes.
Thank you, Adonai.
Yes.
It's so funny to me that our chat knows more about their website than Scientology
Yes.
does.
For real. They
Yes.
do.
I
How
know,
is that
that's-
even possible? That's so unfathomable that the chat on our stream knows Scientology's website better than they do.
That's probably why there's Scientology is so dead set on watching every single minute of SPTV live.
They get more info on them than anything else.
Yeah. Slatter Jill. Just want to say that you are all wonderful and thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Blow Me in Chicago.
Okay.
Scientology in
Yikes.
Chicago isn't doing that great. They invited me to a barbecue and asked me to bring food. I didn't go. This month, it's an art fair without art.
You know, that's so funny because everyone you talk to in Scientology, they don't get a lot of money at the orgs. They don't have money to pay. They don't have money to pay for dry cleaning. They don't have money to pay for barbecues they're throwing, but they have billions of dollars. It's because all of it gets sucked to the top by David Miscavige with this giant cash vacuum. And so he's eating, sushi dinners flown in from the coast and wearing his $50,000 suits and Italian loafers, but they don't have money for a barbecue in
It's
Chicago.
ridiculous.
Well, what's even worse about this is there are all the ads going out now for join us for Thanksgiving. It's a potluck.
Oh my God.
Like the church can't even, provide a turkey for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. It's
BYOF.
Well, those Sea Org members aren't going to have Thanksgiving unless you show up with some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had peanut butter on Thanksgiving.
We should ship turkeys to all of the orgs with Aftermath Foundation cards, curious cards.
Fancy Pants RN. Mike, when are you going to start a membership for your channel? Let us support in another way.
I don't even know what that is.
You can have a membership tier on your YouTube channel. So if somebody pays $1 a month, they get a video a day early. If they pay $5 a month, they get videos earlier than that. Or it's, I'm trying to.
Where we've always kind of steered away from that is that by YouTube analytics, about 50% of the people watching the video are not even subscribers. So then having a membership means, they can see less even than that. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
To each their own.
I'm
whatever
not
you wanna
like a
do.
big fan of all of this stuff. Like we do this for the reason of making information available,
Yeah.
not for the motivation of making money.
Yep.
Yeah. We were doing this way before there was a YouTube and all this other stuff. So It is what it is. If you guys want to support, you can go to the Blown for Good merch store and you can buy merch, or you can just send a straight donation there in the merch store on any of our platforms. You can,
Yep,
if you
same
want to
for-
donate to us because you want to support us and whatever everything we're doing, you can go to any of our merch sites. There's a donation button there.
Yep.
Yeah. Britzy74. Hey, getting used to catching you between 2 to 4 a.m. South African time. Thank you, Britzy.
Look at that dog.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's a
Nice.
question for Mark. Japan of Green Gables. Question, Mark, did your auditor Thomas have to disconnect from you?
Yes, he disconnected me so bad he doesn't even know if he's ever met an SP. And
Oh my God, honey. How long have you had that in the coffers waiting
what?
to say?
No, I'm saying just
For
right
those
there.
who don't know, Tom Cruise is who she's referring to.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was my
That's
auditor.
a he, by
and,
the way.
Yeah.
Fan of
sorry,
Green
he.
Gables is
Sorry.
a he.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
he.
Anyway,
Oh my
yeah.
God, that was
He
the
doesn't even know.
best
He doesn't even
answer ever.
remember meeting an SP.
Right.
That was the best.
Just in case. they
He's
didn't
been
know.
waiting for that question. He may have sent out to people saying, please ask this question because I've got a great line in
I
response.
don't even know what I said. That was so funny.
Well, it was just the perfect comeback. I mean, it was like,
Have you ever met a Scientologist?
Clip that, Kaden.
This-
Clip that.
Yeah, this is a line that
Oh
Tom
my God.
Cruise. Yeah. Okay. Lithanda Grockling. Disconnection wouldn't work if every Scientologist would ignore it. They can't throw out everyone. It shows what fear does to people. Love from Germany.
Yes,
Completely.
thank you.
Absolutely. You're right.
Yep.
Hmm.
Julie Landwer. Sorry, off topic. You all have talked about taking cruises. As someone who cruises often, what are your favorite ports? We loved Alaska.
Yes, we did love Alaska.
That was super fun.
Yeah, Seward.
St.
What was the other one?
was nice.
Anchorage. Where do we've been all over. We've had all kinds of fun places. So
Yeah.
we've been Bahamas,
Yep.
Cozumel
Western
was
Caribbean,
nice.
Eastern
Cozumel,
Caribbean.
We loved it all.
Yeah.
Bonaire's fun.
Yeah, we just love the Bonaire.
you can only go there on the free wins.
Dora
Okay,
Explorer. Hi, gang. I've lost track. Which website has the blah, blah, blah shirt? Hugs to you all. Mike?
That is the Mike Rinder merch store.
Yes.
Link in the description.
There you go.
On
Yeah.
Mike's channel.
Renders RBF. Mike, you look so healthy and happy lately. I don't like it. Oh, dear. Sorry, Kathy.
That's
Bummer.
nice.
Dr.
Oh,
X.
Dr. X.
Dr. X.
Hi,
Yay.
team MC squared. Hand cramp. Hashtag hand cramp. Excuse to catch live. COS training. Doesn't have great media social training.
No.
DM spokespeople have all done horribly in every interview. COS, where right hand doesn't know what left hand is doing.
Yes, completely.
100%.
And you know
Yep.
why the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing is because the brain, aka David Miscavige, is broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Look at that
And
new
also-
little logo she's got. Did
Yeah.
you see
Oh,
that? The
I
Yeah.
didn't
bill?
see that.
Dr.
Very cool.
X. Very cool.
I wish your hand recovery from
Yes.
Yes.
marking.
Liz Fair. Hey, Claire, Christy, Mark, and Mike. Thank you all. Hey, Liz.
Liz
Hi, Liz.
Ferris, we love you, Liz.
I was going to say a lot of those people that are going on these shows, they're getting yelled at by David Miscavige seconds before they're going on live.
Yes.
And so
right.
whatever that last thing he said, like if you mess this up, you're never coming home, Mike. That's what you're thinking about while that guy's saying, is it true Dave Miscavige is abusive? You're
Right.
saying, you're literally trying to fight the recollection
such a
from 8
moron.
seconds ago while they're asking you that question.
Well, it can be even worse than that. I've had it where I was doing a live TV interview, and Marty one time, Greg Wilhare another time, was standing in front of me while I was doing the interview, talking on the phone with Dave, who was watching the interview and telling them to tell me to say X, Y, and Z in the middle of
While
the
you're
interview.
doing the interview. Oh my goodness. So
Wow.
I was off by about 8 seconds because it was real time.
Exactly. It was real. The same thing used to happen when Marty and I were talking to Tom Tobin and Joe Childs at the Tampa Bay Times, or the St. Pete Times then. He literally was standing. We had to hold the phone like this so he could listen to what they were saying, and then he would furiously be either
writing.
scribbling notes or having Lou scribble notes of this is what you have to say. And it would be like held in our faces with fingers like, you have to say this. And the conversation may have moved on to something completely different, and it would be completely non sequitur to say what was now on the page. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
You
You
had
still
to
have to
say
say
it.
what he wrote.
Anything that you managed to accomplish, Mike, that was good or that was needed was in spite of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really, he just made it so much harder. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah. If
Crazy,
people only
crazy.
knew what he was doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. Miss Chief X question. Do you think that any of your family members will ever leave the cult?
I do.
Yes,
I
that's
do.
the hope. That is
Yeah.
the eternal hope.
Yep.
I have hope for possibly my siblings. I feel very doubtful that my mother will leave, but my siblings are younger than me, so they have a lot of life left in them. So I'm very hopeful for that.
Yep.
Nice.
Possibly.
And like I said earlier, the only thing Scientology can't take from us when it comes to family is hope.
Yep.
There you go, Claire.
Lori plays, not plugging anything, just saying thanks for all you guys do. Huge respect. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Lori.
Lori.
Thank you, Lori Plays.
Shelley Outlaw question. Is there a need to connect disconnected individuals with volunteer families for the holidays?
That's a beautiful
sweet.
thought. Yes, we'll give that some thought because very possibly yes.
Okay. Let's see. Dr. X, sharing love around. Do you all think your family want to speak to you, but due to disconnection policy, they are afraid to, or are they so indoctrinated that it won't matter if policy doesn't exist? Mike, Aussie versus SASF, who wins?
Oh, Australia wins. There's no question.
And so
Well,
on
that's sort of a question, but not in my mind.
but a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Or yeah. On the family, speaking for ourselves, at least, we've had enough instances to know that the only reason our family doesn't talk to us is because of the fear imposed by Scientology.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, they were talking to us right up until they weren't. Even Claire's mom talked to us after she was told not to.
Yep.
And she talked to us for a little bit more. And then when she was she knew she was gonna get interrogated. She said, "Okay, I gotta stop now because they're gonna interrogate me. And if I keep talking to you, I'm pretty sure it'll come up."
Yeah.
and then she'd have to choose between me and my 3 other siblings.
And her
And
husband.
and her husband. And that's just that's cruelty right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get it.
It's the same. Like my mother spoke to me right up until the end, and then a little bit more, right? Very around that time. And in the beginning, yes, I do think she wanted to speak to me and continued and didn't think anything badly about me. But over time, they're thoroughly convinced that me and Mike are horrible people. I'm married to Mike Rinder, this horrible, horrible man. So therefore, I'm a horrible person. So at this point, they've washed their hands completely and probably don't even think about it.
They
Yeah.
do think
Sadly.
about it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Claire.
Yep.
Okay. Nate Mink. Thank you, Nate.
Yes.
Thanks, Nate.
thank
That's
you.
very generous.
Single loner. Claire, I travel with a stack of Aftermath Foundation cards with me, and I'm generous with them. Thank
Nice.
you.
Thank you, single loner. And we have new cards. So we'll figure out how to carry
You should
that.
just put the file up on the site and people
Yeah.
can download it.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Marilyn Hane, Coffee, Colts, and Crafts. Hi to the Fab Four. Love for all you do. By the way, Michelle meant Roberta Blevins' podcast. She was on Fair Game with Mike and Leah. She is having
Wow.
Liz G, Liz F, and myself on her podcast.
Oh,
Wow.
wow, that's great.
Nice. That's
Awesome.
amazing. I'm doing a little bit culty this week too, by the way.
Oh, yay. We love them.
Yay. Yes.
Lisa D, thank you for your super sticker. Nate Mink. As an NS, I love what you are doing. Idaho is behind you.
Awesome.
What's an
What's an
NS?
NS?
Never in Scientologist?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
non-Scientologist. maybe.
Ah, there you go, there you go.
Okay,
Sure.
there we go.
Non-Scientologist.
Okay.
I don't think there's any Scientology is there Scientology in Idaho?
Probably not. No.
Mm,
There is
no.
not.
Okay, good. Scott Ripley, Headley's dismayed over your 155K freeloader bill. The good news is that I found my old Monopoly set. It has over 20K, $1 to $500 bills. Happy to contribute.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this reminds me of a story.
Oh, don't
where-
tell that. That's going to
Okay.
make me look horrible.
Okay.
I made a
won't
bet.
do it.
I'll tell it now because now everyone's going to.
I have a terrible story about this too.
I made a bet with one of my kids, and I can't remember what. I think I wanted him to eat. If he ate all his vegetables or something, I said, if you eat all your vegetables, I'll give you $50 right here, right now. And I had already. I was just cleaning up in our basement, and I found a 50, and I just put it in my wallet as a joke, a Monopoly money 50. And so I was sitting at the table, and I said, it's in my wallet right now. If you eat all your vegetables, I'll give you $50. He ate like a
He
whole.
was like 6 or 7 years old.
He ate an entire bowl of green beans, and then I pulled out my wallet. It was like, a deal's a deal. And I pulled out my wallet, and when I slapped down that Monopoly 50, he started crying. And I was like, oh, come on, Caden.
Oh, dear.
It was so funny, though.
It's like, I never said I was going to give you real money.
I didn't
like,
say
honey,
US dollars.
You implied
Okay.
that very strongly, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Rorschach 2112. When I tell my coworkers about all the Scientology stuff I've learned from watching you guys, they are absolutely floored. They don't realize how deep the crazy train goes.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a deep-
it is.
Yeah.
It's a deep train.
Yeah.
Going through to the center of the earth.
I know.
Can-
When
honey,
people
can-
ask me, I'm always like, do you really want me to open Pandora's box? I'm glad to, but
Yeah.
I'm just warning you. That's what's coming.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Mike.
Sorry,
Tell
I
me,
didn't
Mike.
cut you off.
Can the next one? Can you please do the Daniel Chamberlain comment
Yes, absolutely.
after this?
Love Sherlock. I have never been declared. Left in 79. I'm sure that if others like myself got declared today, that declared list might be declared.
Okay.
I didn't quite understand that. Maybe
I'm sure
I
that
didn't need
others
to.
like myself.
I
got
think
declared
it
today,
might
that
have meant to
declared
say
list.
might be longer or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the list.
Yes,
Well,
that's right.
I mean, I'm not going to look for Love Sherlock, but the list of suppressive persons is a video on my website. I put the entire list into a video, and it just scrolls every single name. If you want to find your name, it's probably alphabetical, so you just put it on slow speed and you can watch it. But that video is that was one of the very first videos I made on YouTube, was every person and group that had been declared as suppressive by Scientology.
Yep.
It's a big list. Danielle Chamberlain, question. Can we please take a minute to remember Mick Wenlock, who passed away this past week? May he rest in peace.
Yes, I saw
I
that.
I did not know that until
I
I
didn't
saw
either.
that comment, and I saw that comment, and I nearly started crying.
I'm sorry. I
Mick-
marked that because I knew I've followed on Facebook and I knew.
I
about
know, and Mick was. I did a mission with Mick Wenlock when I was first in the Sea Org in like 1975 or something, and we went to AOLA, and he was the nicest, funniest, big old teddy bear of a guy that you could ever want to meet. And he and his wife have been around for a long time, helping a lot of people. They have a son who they adore and have. I just couldn't say enough nice things.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Mike. It's yeah. We
Sorry.
love Mick. Yeah, I'm sorry to have marked that in.
No, I'm happy you did. I didn't know.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't know you didn't know though. Otherwise, I would have. I would have handled that.
I will
differently,
write
so,
to Nancy after we get
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Rest in
sorry.
peace, Mick.
Yes, rest in
Yes,
peace,
rest in
and
peace, Mick.
condolences to all the family.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Catherine S. Study tech. Get ready to get anxious if you yawn
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
for the rest of your life. You can never yawn again without
Ins-
feeling
In Scientology, per L. Ron Hubbard, if you are studying or you're reading something and you yawn, that means you have a misunderstood word and you need to go get a dictionary and you need to look it up. So if you're studying anything around anybody who's in Scientology and you yawn, you have to just go get a dictionary and look at it, because otherwise they're going to be like, you're going to look up that word you passed that you didn't that's also a crime in Scientology. To knowingly go past misunderstood words is illegal in Scientology.
Yeah, but you want to know something funny? Do you know what every Scientologist is an expert at?
Suppressing a yawn? I can
so
almost
true.
do it, but the very sides of my nose just turn white for a millisecond. And Claire knows this because in her course room, I'd just be sitting there and be like, and then if she would see my nose get white, she'd be like, do you want to take a look and see if there's a word there? And I'd be like, God damn it.
Of all the skills you have to learn to survive Scientology, suppressing a yawn.
Suppressing a yawn. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Akaside music. When people leave Scientology, I imagine it would be quite traumatizing. Are people reluctant to get therapy?
Yes.
Many are.
Yes, they are.
Some are not. But
That's why I'm starting my Ask a Therapist series. It's going to be fascinating.
Oh, I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, I know. It's
Sounds
just to be like, hey, okay, you're a therapist. I was born in a cult, spent 30 years, and was taught that psychology and psychiatry are completely evil. They're the whole track people bent on destroying all mankind.
Right.
They work for Xenu. They used to work for Xenu.
Yeah,
the psychiatrists.
So let's normalize this and talk about it and compare auditing and what did L. Ron Hubbard plagiarize from psychology and psychiatry, and not as a you have to go get therapy, but just normalize it.
Right. Yeah. Don in Wu. Father was minister, does not speak to me nor anyone from the community. I'm all good on the organized religion front.
There you go.
Yeah, us too. Seriously, enough.
Billy Bob 123. Mark, just FYI, I am the
remember
original Billy Bob. There was an imposter in the chat before, and I agree. Disconnection is not good.
Thank you, Billy Bob 123.
Oh my gosh,
I knew
this
that
is
Billy Bob
amazing.
123 wasn't an imposter.
Yeah,
I knew that.
Seriously, we can see an imposter from a mile away.
Yeah.
We have good
There you go.
OSA ingrained skills. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank
Double
you, Love
not
Sherlock.
declared.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That clears that up.
Yes.
Valerie Bolajak. Amish shunning is different. Children are given 18 months to explore the world outside. If they choose to go English, they are not shunned. If they come back and take a vow to God to remain in this faith and break it, that's the shunning event.
Interesting. That's very interesting. So see, even the Amish are more forgiving and more receptive and more promoting
Modern.
given a
family
choice.
relationships than Scientology.
I actually watched a whole episode on this, and that's exactly what happens. When they get to a certain age, they let them go out and they say, go be kids and go do what you're going to do. And if when you do all that, you decide, no, I'd rather go back to the way we live life, then you come back. And if you don't, then that's up to you. So it is what it is.
It is very different because we're told, well, go out, be part of the world, but that's all the wogs and they're all bad and everything's horrible. And so,
You're going
They're
to
all
be flipping
criminals and
burgers
drug
the rest of
dealers
your
and
life,
prostitutes.
and they're all drug dealers.
everything is bad. Only we are good.
Yeah.
Mark the Dorset SP. I heard a stat that there were 70 to 80,000 clears ever passed since the 1950s. Half of either have died or been declared. Is this true stat? If so, with 8 billion people on Earth, it shows clearing the planet is not working.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's mathematically impossible. They
I'm
can't
one of
even
those
clear.
clears.
Yeah. They can't even clear their zip code. How are they going to clear the planet?
But that is correct. Scientology numbers and gives you a clear number. Now, the fact that they are up to about 79,000, I think was the last one I put on my blog, doesn't mean that there have actually been 79,000, because every org gets allocated like maybe 1,000. So Detroit org may have the numbers for the clears that they make of 67,001 through 67,500. They may be up to 67,002 by now. leaving 498 numbers out of the 80,000 that have not actually had a clear attached to them. So the maximum is 80,000
Yeah. And
over the
also,
entire history of Scientology.
yeah, exactly. I was going to say, at least if let's just pretend there's 50 real thousand, at least 40 of those are either declared or dead or not in Scientology anymore anyway. So it's a total joke that they think they're going to clear the planet. And if any
Right.
Scientologist is watching this, I hate to break it to you, but mathematically, you should just put your broom down and go back to the real world, and
Actually, the planet
have
is
your
getting
life.
less clear each day.
yes,
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it's exactly true. I've done this on my blog many times. How many people are born each day? How many
Yeah.
people die each day or week or month or year? And how many clears are made? So
Yeah.
there may be 1,000 clears made this year. If they're lucky,
yeah,
there are another 47 million people added to planet Earth. So they've just gone down by 999,000
yeah. But
in
even
this
somebody
year.
told me it's only about 100 a year right now.
I
It's
know.
not even
Yeah.
1,000 a year. That
No.
somebody told me the current statistics, it's about 100 a year, if that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Gary Meek. I don't know what this is, Mike. Mike, do you put BDFAOFI after your name? Do you know what this is?
I have no clue what that is. I mean, I know what
BDFAOFI.
YSCHOB is. I figured
Oh.
that one out.
I was wondering if this is an Australian thing or a sports thing. I don't know.
It's a Gary Meek thing.
Gary Meek
Yeah.
thing. Who's
We don't
gonna
know
have
what that
to
is,
explain
Gary.
it,
You'll
and
have
it's
to-
probably
He's going to say it.
Or something.
He'll say it
so.
somewhere. Somebody
Yeah.
will tell us.
Britzy74. Claire, could you explain your son's second art piece?
Oh yeah, this is.
Is that a Star Wars?
It's an elephant.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, I'll
his
have
legs
to
are
ask
kind of
him.
skinny.
I was going to
They're
say, it
very
looks like a
long and
camel
skinny.
and an
It looks
elephant
like
got
one
together.
of those things from Star Wars.
Oh,
It's-
yeah. It looks like an
has-
at.
It has an actual jewel on it.
You have to back
See?
up.
Oh, wow. It's really good.
Oh, the elephant part is really good. Like
Yeah.
the
really good.
body, it's just the legs. If he cut it off where you're
It's, Mike, it's art.
That's a
it's-
reflection
it's
in the water,
usually-
Mike. It's a
I'll
reflection.
Ask him about it. I'll ask him about
Okay.
it. It's usually how they do these projects is it's based on a specific artist
Same.
and imitating them.
Right.
So we need to know which artist it is, and I don't know that, but I'll find out.
Yeah, I like it.
Pee Wee
Thank
Herman.
you.
Prostate Alex. How would OSA go about getting a non-Scientology friend to spy on an ex? Do they just offer money in return for dirt or info, or is it more covert?
I would say, Alex, that it is more covert. It is someone, I mean, the way that they have done it with me in the past is they'll have a PI approach someone and say, we're working on a confidential investigation into human trafficking or into drugs in the neighborhood, drug dealing in the neighborhood. And we have an eye on this particular house over here because blah, 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 blah. And if you have any information that would help us in our investigation to put an end to these horrible crimes that are being committed in your whatever, that's more likely. We're happy to reimburse you for any expenses, blah, blah, blah. So the money comes in eventually, but there is a story, because if you just walk up to someone and say, here, I'm going to pay you £100 or $200 or whatever to give me some dirt on this person, the likelihood is that that person, even if they take the money, is probably going to let you know.
Yeah.
So they
Yep.
they try and do it in a fashion where it makes it seem like they're participating in a legitimate investigation that is being done. I mean,
Yeah.
I've even had these guys basically say, we're the DEA, you know.
Yeah, right. You threw out a blah, 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 Mike.
I did. I
Yeah.
think I did too.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Catherine Olson, comment. There is an internet unit in Scientology Media Productions that takes care of updating the Scientology website. I'm sure Miscavige has to approve anything done on this.
Yep.
Oh, no question, Catherine.
Yeah.
Yep. Apostate Alex, read TC helicoptering in. What's funny is he didn't just fly in and out. He circled a few times around the property to make sure everyone knew he was coming in.
Yeah, there you go.
To be fair, that's a chopper thing. It's not a TC.
It is. That is exactly right. Mark.
I like blaming it on TC.
I
better.
know,
Yeah,
but
me
if we
too.
know it's not, we can't say it is.
All right. Champagne hands. Question, is being part of a click farm above or below body death?
What a great comment.
If Scientology was smart, they would do BT's Activate. You could get 10,000 views with one person.
Oh,
There you go.
honey, do that again. I thought we were supposed to have a coordinated thing.
No, we didn't have a coordinated thing. I showed Claire the secrets.
You ready? Let's
Yes.
do it again.
No.
Do it again, honey.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
By the way, that is a Salvador Dali painting called The Elephants, and he did a
Oh.
really good job matching
He
it.
did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
There you
Christy
go.
Lynn Wilson, disconnection isn't just cruel, it's bad strategy. If you want someone's heart to be softened towards your belief system, how would shunning them do that? Scientology isn't faith, but obedience.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
I would
Yes.
only change the word obedience to control.
Yes. Both words.
Control
Yes.
and
Yes.
leverage. Yeah.
Beautiful
Yes.
day. I had a pastor tell me the most cruel thing someone can do to another is pretend they don't exist. Hugs to all. Yeah. That's the feeling that you have
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they disconnect from you, that you don't
That's
exist.
hardcore. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that you guys just said, leverage. If you guys want to know what L. Ron Hubbard, how he thinks, the Battlefield Earth book is a Scientology origin story. Battlefield Earth. The Cyclos are psychiatrists. That's why they're called the Cyclos. But everything in there is about leverage. The whole movie is about who has the most leverage and how do you get what you want by using leverage against another person. And that really, at the end of the day, is the moral of that story. And that's from L. Ron Hubbard.
And if you want to know how Scientology views the WOG world, Mission Earth.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Oh my
true.
God.
That's a great example. Mission Earth and Battlefield Earth are Scientology stories cloaked in fiction. And the amount, I say this all the time, but I'm not going to say the word, but it has 3 X's in it. And that is Mission Earth is space XX triple X. That's what it is. The whole book is the most unimaginable vulgarities that take place in this book.
Especially volume 4.
Yeah, volume
yeah.
4 is.
Yeah.
I never
out
read any of them.
this-
Thank
Oh
God.
my God.
my-
I
Teeny
read all
Weeny?
of them.
Is there one called Teeny Weeny?
Whopper.
Teeny Whopper. Holy
Salt and Grease
moly.
is the
So
Teeny
glad I
Whopper.
missed all those.
Jeddah Heller. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. Trust me. I mean, oh my gosh, nightmare material right
Pick
there.
up
Yeah.
pick up
Reading
volume
that at
4. We should do
14,
a
that's
volume.
gross.
We should do a volume 4 greatest hits
I don't
and
know
just
if
go
that'll
through.
work out on YouTube.
Well, we can do it. It just won't be a monetized
Right.
video, but
Okay.
it'll get a lot of clicks.
Yeah.
Candy Licorice was one of the characters, as I recall.
I just remember that
Teeny
Teeny Whopper had an
Whopper.
insatiable appetite. Is that
bad.
accurate?
Yeah, Teeny Whopper. Yeah, and
Yeah, Teeny
but Candy
Whopper.
Licorice did some really bad things, and anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Moving
Yeah.
along.
All right. Catherine
Don't want
S.
to remember that.
Do you think OSA pays tax exempt dollars for YouTube Premium to watch SPTV?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They pour millions into SPTV
Yeah.
advertising.
Oh, Dr.
Yeah.
Berg's advertising on our channels now too.
Oh, excellent.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Dr. Berg? Who's
Lovely.
Dr.
Dr. Berg is
That's
Ian
Ian Rafalco's dad.
Rafalco's dad.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay.
He's this keto doctor, YouTube, whatever. He's a YouTube doctor, and he gets a lot of hits, and he advertises on all the SPTV channels. They're
Oh
monetized.
my God. Mickey, did you guys watch Dave's 2 episodes regarding the Dianetics? Is this on his Scientology channel? Because I can't stand
I
watching
don't
that
watch
stuff.
I banned that from my house. I've blocked
Mike
it.
puts it on every now and again just to see what's going on, and it's so nauseating. It's
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking
Anyway,
about the Scientology
I-
episodes on Dianetics?
Yeah.
I
no.
think
Oh.
so. Maybe we'll have to check it out.
I'm going
Yeah.
to do a reaction video. I found some videos on their channels. Oh, they're amazing.
They're horrible.
They're
Oh,
they're
we
horrible.
should do that
amazing.
together, Mark. We
Yeah,
would have
you
a lot of
guys,
fun
you guys
with it.
do that. Christy and I will
They're
have a cup
so-
of tea.
I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
We both
I've
be
already
there for
got them
that.
ready. I've
It's
already got
too
them in the
triggering.
can, and
Too
I've been making
triggering.
notes.
I mean, I can watch it, but it's just horrible. It's just,
I know.
it's just, anyway.
I
They
know.
don't, anyway. Okay, let's go. Andrew Humphrey, Captain Davies starts his flight training on Thursday. Pictures will be incoming. Stay tuned.
Yay. Okay, so I know what this is about. Andrew Humphrey, we have had some shipping issues, but finally Captain Davy of the fake Navy has arrived, and he trains pilots to fly like pretty amazing planes. And trust me, I've seen some amazing planes. As you guys know, I do avionics updates and all kinds of fun stuff for my work. So I'm so excited to see pictures. Yay.
Awesome. We got 11 more to go. Miss
right.
Withholdy, do any of you know what happened to Cal Cole, CO AOLA?
Oh, I remember Cal Cole. I don't
Yeah,
know what
so do
happened
I.
to him.
Don't know.
What was his wife's name? Was Chris Cole.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
she's still there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't know what
maybe
happened
someone
to him.
knows and they can tell us.
Yeah.
Maybe they can go on the Connect site.
put it on the missing person directory. There you go.
Yep.
Sarah Forbear, Christy, how did you first meet Mike? Did you know of him beforehand? Yes, I knew of him. Everyone knows of Mike. I first met Mike very, very briefly when I was at the Imp base, and he had to brief our team on what was happening, the OSA flaps in the East US before we fired out. And that was the first time I ever met him in the Sea Org. And then after that, we were introduced by a mutual friend, Hayden James, when we were here in Clearwater. So that's how we met.
And the rest is history, folks.
Mhm.
You know,
There
Claire,
you
you
go.
should do a Scientology stories episode with Christy, and it can be on their channel and on our channel.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes,
we did.
definitely.
I
We
did-
talked about doing that a long time ago, and then, we folks have lots of things happening. But yes, we'll definitely do that.
But if I say it in here, then other people will get asked
Yeah,
you to do it.
you're exerting peer pressure on me to get it done. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Trend 444. Claire, will you tell your scary story?
Yes, I definitely will. Not today, but I will. Just stay tuned. Coming soon.
Stay tuned.
Westland, love guys, binge watching all SPTV channels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. There you go.
Jen Nelson, super sticker. Thank you,
Thank
Jen.
you, Jen.
Pioneer 863. Getting out of Scientology seems like lose process. How many take one own life? Truly scary stuff. More groups like the Aftermath Foundation are needed, and Scientologists must find out that help is available for them.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
unfortunately, that is a problem in Scientology as well, with Sea Org members and Scientologists alike. There's a lot of mental issues that go untreated and unrecognized by Scientology, and unfortunately, I think all of us know somebody who's unalived themselves in Scientology.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
but
know.
we do now have a clinical coordinator who's a mental health professional that works with the Aftermath Foundation. We have some amazing programs coming on that front with some just incredible experts that have offered their assistance to, there's already a guidebook in creation, for example, that explains all the terminology and the basic principles of Scientology that somebody offering mental health assistance needs to understand to be able to help somebody who has the mindset of a Scientologist. So we're working on it, but yes, it's absolutely very, very hard, but we're making it as doing everything we can to make it easy for people, or easier for people, to get out.
Yes. Alex is peachy. I work at a housing nonprofit within walking distance of a COS org. Any advice for social workers helping homeless former Scientologists? Can they be referred to the Aftermath Foundation for help?
Absolutely.
Yes. Very
Yeah,
definitely.
They should, Alex, please email Claire, because I think we might be able to. We should talk over
we
email.
have some resources, and we also have some even other programs that we're not going to talk about publicly that would exactly tie into that. So yes, definitely, please shoot me an email. We will be there. There are things we're doing behind the scenes, let's just say, that are intended to target people who really need help. But at this point, we are literally like we just got our first applicant for the $10,000 annual education grant that we implemented in honor of Rosemary Brown. So we are literally trying to help as many people as we can. We're helping more people currently right now as we speak than we ever have before. So our goal is to keep that growing and growing and growing.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Catherine S. If Scientology had Rumspringa, there would be no second gen.
So I Googled this, and this Rumspringa is the thing that we were talking about,
Yeah.
or the thing that was mentioned where they're allowed to go out and experience.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
That's
true.
exactly right.
Yeah.
It's true, because when you see these kids having a good great old time and partying it up, you're like, oh yeah, they would not go back to the Sea Org after that.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody had even just offered to adopt me, I would have avoided this organization. Like, seriously.
Yep. Mrs. T. Rush. I missed what blah, blah, blah means.
That's the whole point.
It means nothing.
It's a filler.
It just means etc., more, more.
It's usually when Mike is explaining something and he could give us another 1,000 words, but then he just puts in blah, blah, blah. Because there's
Exactly.
it's just, you could just keep saying more about the same thing.
More.
It's Mike's version of yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There you
there you
go.
go.
Yep.
Gary Meek, bitter, defrocked apostate on the fringes of the internet. That was his abbreviation. Right?
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Beautiful. Oh my
Yes,
God,
I
love it.
knew he would say what it was.
I know. I Googled that, Gary, and it didn't come up. So
Yeah, that is
just
actually-
shows you how much Scientology does not contribute to the Urban
Yeah.
Dictionary.
Isn't that one of the things that Miscavige's
Yes.
writers used? It's not,
Yes.
Mike didn't make this up. It's literally
No.
the words
It's
they
in the
used.
Freedom.
Yes, in the
Freedom
Freedom
Magazine.
Freedom
Mag.
Magazine.
Yeah.
And
we
that's
gotta
what
get
they-
that Freedom Magazine out and do something with that one day.
We
Yeah,
should
we shouldn't even call
so
it-
do
We're all
a
on the
review
cover
video.
of that. All
Yes.
of us are on the cover.
I'm in a bush. I mean, come on now. Seriously.
Well, I'm
What
with
the
you.
heck?
I'm with
I
you.
can't even
Yeah, you're
remember where I
pushing
am,
me
but
into
I'm
the bush.
definitely on it.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? Go
Aren't
ahead.
you in a maid's outfit or something?
I'm in something terrible. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
You know what? You know what we say, Osa? Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Underestimate us.
Well-
Why don't you?
Well, apart from the Tommy Davis video, that Freedom Magazine got more people out of Scientology than any other thing.
Yes.
100 Tampa Bay Times and Freedom Magazine. They kind of was like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
And that's where wasn't Aaron floating around at that time?
Yeah.
Wasn't he one of the people that kind of was like, ooh.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
there was a lot of other people in Scientology that are out now that got out from those magazines and that Scientology put out.
Yep.
Oh, I like
Crazy
this.
new project of Farsec. Fiction acting like fiction disguised as fiction.
There you
Yes.
go. The what
Yep.
is that? What is that? Triple F?
Yeah, we're talking like fifth wall, sixth wall, breaking the sixth wall there.
Yeah, we're almost done here. Dawn in
Yay.
YO. I get Joel Olstein commercials. Check that guy out. 10 million house, plastic surgery, and a line of suits. Christian minister. Leave COS and join Joel. Puke.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, leave
Yeah.
COS, period. Don't
That's
join
true.
anybody.
I used to say,
Find your freedom, find your point of view, find your
Yeah.
mind, find your love, find your peace, find your happiness.
I used to say Scientology was the North Korea of religions. We should just say David Miscavige is the Joel Olstein of churches of Scientology. He's
Oh,
their
Kim Jong Un.
yeah. He's the
Yeah.
Kim Jong Un.
Yeah.
Mickey, Doug's channel, Knoxville Road with 2 of 4. Don't know
Okay.
what this is.
Yeah,
Not
I think
sure.
this
Me either.
same person keeps saying
Okay.
Doug's channel.
Okay. Mickey,
Autocorrect
so sorry.
hates me.
Autocorrect hates me. Doug's channel, How is Xenu Still Alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
there
don't
you
know.
go.
He's an intergalactic
Yeah,
overlord.
you can't insert logic into science fiction. That's not how that works.
Nancy New 12. Is it possible for AF Foundation to put together adult coloring book together, maybe using drawings from Rosemary and others to be used for mindfulness?
Very
Wow.
possibly.
Idea.
We have some ideas on that, so we'll keep you posted.
Cool.
Stay tuned. We have lots of amazing things coming.
Thank you, Samantha Miller. All right, we made it
Okay.
to the end. Wait,
Good.
one more. Thrown at the end. DP never in. Tried to read the truth rundown, but the link to part 3 on the website doesn't work. I think I was on the Aftermath site.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Make a note.
Fair enough.
All
Okay,
right.
last giveaways and we're out, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that was the last winner. I'm going to hit draw again. Doosh. Oh, yeah. We got twice the number of entries, so
Yay.
we'll see. Okay. Wow. Island Lady. Congratulations, Island Lady.
Yay! Congratulations, Island Lady. You win our giveaway. Send me an email, claire@blownforgood.com, with the link to what you would like.
Awesome. Perfect.
There you go.
I'm just going to put this one up. Whenever I see somebody say this, I never get to send a message with my sticker. Well, there you go. There's your message with your sticker.
You can't say never anymore, says
Yep.
Mark.
It's done.
Okay.
You're off the list.
No more nevers.
Never say never.
Okay, and the final word for the half of you watching that are not already subscribers.
Please subscribe.
How is that possible?
Yes,
How is
please.
that
Ask them
possible?
nicely, Mike. Ask them nicely.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please
Osa,
subscribe.
Osa
There we
will tell
go.
you they do not have access to our subscribers.
No, they do not.
You know, we have NordVPN or whatever
Oh
else
my
we have going
God!
on.
Look at you, Mark. You're just like
Yeah.
rolling through all these
It's Mark
things.
Well, yeah.
Henry.
Yeah.
You got it. You're supposed to do that.
Mark
And
Henry.
also, you guys can subscribe. YouTube sometimes unsubscribes people. Subscribing is free. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. It's free.
Oh, I like that. Claire.
Clickety click.
I know Mark missed it. I went like this while
No,
you were
I saw.
talking.
I see. I just don't have to react. I don't love every time that you do your little silly thing. Sometimes
you
it's
totally
raining in
should.
here. Nobody says anything. You
It's
know,
so much
whatever.
fun.
It's what it is.
Show offs.
Yeah. Show off.
As soon as I fixed Claire's computer so it would do it, I was fixing it for some other reason, but then I go, oh, now that I've made it so it does this, watch this. And I showed her, and she was like, wow.
I was like this.
Anyway.
Oh
Yeah.
God. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll be back. Who knows when?
Yep.
Sometime.
Don't
Well,
forget to
probably
tune
next
into-
Monday.
Yeah, and
We
don't
may
forget
have a
to tune
surprise
into
next
Blown for
Monday.
Good on Wednesday. We have
Yes.
two
We're doing-
back-to-back things on Wednesday.
We're doing a live with Mike Brown, and we are going to talk about multiple break-ins to the international headquarters and escapes that all happened in one night. And we're going to go through it in detail. It's going to be, I think it may be as good or better than the last escape story that we did. And then right after that, we have a live with Matt and Amy.
Yes.
Perfect. That's on Wednesday. If
Yep.
you click the bell notification and subscribe, you will be notified when that goes on. So just saying.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
Bye, guys.
Thank you everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Guys, bye.